Hello, YouTube. Welcome to NASCAR Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Well, we're going to get back on this truck today. Buddy's over today. He's going to help us on some of the electrical stuff. I know you hadn't seen him in a long time. And then I'm going to get back on this plumbing stuff. So let's see what we get done. Well, as we get started today, Buddy is working on the electrical stuff. We're going to try to see if we could get a little juice to this thing. We're not too far away from being able to crank this thing, hopefully, but we got all the wire, none of the wire's done, so you can see it's all just cut off, so we got to start from scratch there. I'm going to get on this water neck where we left it on the last episode. This is what we had. This was on the motor, and these coolant lines went to the back of this. The problem is the one I had would not work because these are the wrong size fittings. So I've come up with this idea. I had this neck here, this water neck. This is a 16. I think it's a 16 or an 18, maybe it's 16. Yep, it's like whatever. These are the ones that were in the fittings that were in this neck that we was running on this modified. Well, these go in here. This is right size for 3/8. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this as a spacer. We're going to cut this off, and we may drill that out a little bit more. That's fine. That's all it was using whenever the car was racing. We're not going to race this truck, so we're going to use this for a spacer and put our gasket on the bottom of it, and then this will seal off on the top of that. That's what our plan is. So we're going to see. So let's see if we can get this cut off first and see if we can build this thing up. And that way we still use our coolant lines coming out of the head. Well, we got this spacer ground smooth now. Let's put it on there and hopefully it won't leak. Only time will tell. The worst case scenario, we'll have to buy another one of these. Okay, here's our piece. Got an O-ring, gasket on the bottom, and the O-ring here in the center. All right, the next item of business, trying to come up with a radiator hose. Had this been a straight end, we actually could have used this one here. This is already missing end. This one here, we're going to attempt to cut it to length. We're going to take this end off and show you how we do this. And if we screw it up, we'll have this one as a backup. But hopefully we can do this in one try here. I hate doing steel braid lines. Okay. But they are an amazing product. All right, this is where we're going to attempt to cut this thing and see if we can put it back together. It's just really hard to get these lines, once they're cut, back in that piece there, but we're going to put some tape around it and hopefully it'll work. There you go. Stuff will get you right there. It is sharp, sharp, sharp. Okay, we're going to wrap some tape here around it. Just going to put electrical tape here. And cut it here with our cutoff wheel. And hopefully that'll work. So let me go cut it off and we'll bring it right back. I just want to give you an update. I have pushed this thing out like 4 times. I am physically wore out. This thing is like trying to fight a little angry man. But I kept on sticking it in there, and I used some lubricant, and I think this time we have it. What happens when you screw this in there, if you don't have it seated inside that liner inside, it just pushes this pipe out. And you just, when I thought I had it a while ago, I didn't. And it took me, like, this is the 4th try, but we have it this time, I think. Now, I just hope it fits. Look at there. Holy cow. All right. I went upstairs. I've got some additional parts stored up there. Found 3 hoses. And luckily, the 3rd one works on the bottom. So we gotta get some clamps on it. And that should have the water system done, I think. We're gonna go ahead and put some anti-seize on these header bolts here and get them put in. I went up to ABC Auto Parts a while ago and picked up a battery, and we're thinking we might be able to spin this thing over. That was not in the cards today, but we may try and see. That'd be a nice surprise. Well, I got the header bolts all in, and this is a big day when you're able to put the battery in something. So let's see if she'll go in there. And there it is, $10,000 battery. Well, as I was filling up with water, this bolt right here, I had taken out for clearance for the alternator. End up, that's a straight shot to the water jacket, and water was coming out. So now we're gonna commence to filling it back up again. Buddy did test the power to the starter, so we'd have power there. So I'm gonna put water in it, gonna put some fuel in it, and I don't know, see what happens. I had no clue. It's 2:20 in the afternoon. I had no clue we'd be this far today. Okay, Michael put 5 gallons of fuel in here, and I'm fighting some water leaks, so he's gonna go ahead and we're gonna loosen up the line up here in the front so we can bleed his line through. You see we got a leak here. I know what's causing that. We're gonna fix that in a minute. We can go ahead and crank it, hopefully, but I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this line up and get some fuel up here to the pump. Finally got fuel up here to the fuel line, fuel pump. So somebody grab a throttle and raw fuel coming out. I don't know where it's coming from. Let's have another fitting somewhere, huh? No, that's weird. There's raw fuel.
I'll raise it up.
Yeah. Well, we got a weird situation. This is fuel dripping off down here. Y'all saw on the last episode, that is a brand new line that we just fed through there. And I guess somehow that line's got a pinhole in it. I will admit I bought this off of Amazon, so I guess it's China hose. And that's the only thing I figure. We're going to pull this hose out, and it's got a pinhole in it somewhere. I have no idea. Well, I try to be brutally honest with you guys on this channel. Pulled the line out, everything is dry. And I said, it makes no sense. Well, then it dawned on me, We didn't hook up the fuel pressure line to the back of the gauge from the fuel log. It was where I couldn't see it, and it's spewing fuel out. That's why it was draining down there. So I apologize to Amazon. There's nothing wrong with your fuel line when it's always dry. So, okay, try this again. Got the fuel line put back in. Again, apologies to Amazon and Chinese-made fuel line. This is okay. We hooked the fuel pressure line back to the fuel pressure gauge. So we also had a little bit tiny leak on the oil pressure gauge because we didn't know it was going to get this far today. And just I hadn't gone back and loosened things up. But we're getting late in the afternoon, and I want to go ahead and, hey, if we had a chance to run it. I knew this end on this radiator was going to be probably bad. I got to buy a new nipple and get it heliarched on. I'm trying to slow it down. I knew that's the problem. You can't use a used hose. You try to cut them down, they leak. Just inside of the hose interior falls apart. This is probably going to be leaking water, but we want to try to crank it again and let it run for a little bit longer and see what happens. We found out that there was lots of rats living in the exhaust.
They came out when it went boom.
Yeah, they hit the road. Okay, do we need to put some fuel probably back in the carburetor? We'll see. When I was talking about the rat houses, we don't know if there's any rats in there or not. But boy, you can see it blew it everywhere. That's pretty cool. But hopefully no rats were injured in the making of this film. Wow, man, I cannot believe we got this far today. It's just one thing led to another. And next thing you know, we got it running. But we've worked so hard on this thing, for the last couple of weeks. And I'm glad you've been able to join us, and hope you feel as relieved as I am. But we're going to pick it up here next time because I'm going to be going for the next few days. We're going to head to Branson, Missouri and spend time. We've rented a house up there for me and my 3 kids and all of our grandkids. We're just going to have a good time and just sit back and relax for a while, go to Silver City and take the grandkids. I cannot wait to do that. But we'll pick it up here when we get back. We've got a lot of stuff still to do, and we will get that done on the next episode. Appreciate you guys watching as always. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. I hope you have a very happy, blissful Thanksgiving with your family. Don't forget where all our blessings come from. That's Jesus Christ and God above. Thank you. We'll see you later. Take care. God bless you. So long.